All right, so a little interesting chain of emails happening here. Me, Bix, and JC, and Cliff. And there's an interesting thing, data that came through back in 2003 that Cliff's webbot kind of picked up. Him and his partner, Igor, had Igor spotted it. He said it was just this odd thing that stood out. It only happened this one time and whatever. But it basically said, we did that run, data run, back in March and April and May of 2003. Igor saw the marker in late May 2003 during data integrity checks prior to the interpretation. And this piece of data says something about 20 years later, which would be 2023. And the data said, day is when awake to or by space aliens for or to breakfast 20 years on from now. Day is strange when awake to by space aliens for to breakfast 20 years on from now. So it's literally saying, things are strange when you get awoken by an ET to go to breakfast. That's kind of what it's saying. So he sends this email and we're having a little discussion. I was kind of late to the email exchange. By the time I checked my email, but I was later in the day or whatever. So I'm like, well, that's interesting, because about 2 days ago, which is now about 3 days ago, I had a dream that usually when I have a dream, like anybody that remembers your dream, something happened in the dream. You saw something. There's always this visual thing. You're experiencing something in the dream, right? But I've been known, since I've been deep into the woo, with Woo Dude, to sometimes just get a word, a message in my mind as I wake up and didn't see anything, that kind of thing. And I got this dream, again, about 3 days ago or so, that I didn't see anything. And it was like, I'm just about to wake up, so I get hit with the information I need, in the so-called dream as I wake up. So it's like, he's waking up in 5, 4, 3, 2, hit him, boom, 1, wake up. Okay, so I didn't get to see anything or experience anything, except the ETs telling me in the dream, like, please don't be scared when we show ourselves. Don't be scared when we show ourselves. That was the message to me. And I woke up, I wrote it down in my dream book, and I'm like, kind of interesting, I'd say, to the least, right? So I'm reading this thing from Clif High, who I haven't told anybody about this dream. Again, it was like Saturday or something, and here it is Monday. We have this little email exchange. And I go, well, since you said that, let me tell you about this woo dream I had. And I told him exactly what I just told you guys. So today, this morning, I'm waking up out of a dream. But this one, there was a visual. And there's this woman laying down on the ground, like on the floor. It felt like it was in a house somewhere, but like not on the dirt, but like on the floor. I don't remember if it was carpet, hardwood, I don't know. And this woman standing there, and me and my wife were there. We're just like looking at her. She's just completely still. And my first glance at her was like, her face looked different. Human, just a weird-ish looking human face. And it made me think this is an older woman, like older, 60s, 70s, I don't know. And then upon further inspection, we realized, I think she started talking. We're like, oh my God, she's way younger. Not a kid, but, maybe in her 30s, let's say, or 20s even. So I was like, oh, I thought she was really old. And now all of a sudden, I'm realizing she's not. It's just the way her face kind of looked. And she's talking to me, my wife, and she starts to tell us about this ET contact experience she had. So I'm like, I want to hear it, And she starts talking so fast, and maybe partially a little bit too quiet, but it was mostly fast. I'm like, I can't keep up with what she's saying. I'm like, whoa, stop, slow down. Can you? So then I kind of come down closer to her. I'm like, can you just slow that down and just repeat what you just said again? Like, could you start over? And I think she did, and I still couldn't understand what the hell she said. And so it was like, it's kind of not really important what she said. It's like, the key is, here's another dream 3 days later about an ET contact experience that this person had that they want to relay to you and your wife. And I remember, trying to think if this was 1 or 2 years ago. It might have been 2 years ago now. I don't know. I'm doing the woo-woo dude stuff at night, headphones on, listening to certain shamanic drumming music, invoking the dreams, so to speak. And they're like, I'm like, Evelyn, woo-woo dude and Julianne said, you'll get stuff like you should try some of this. So, go to bed, ask a question, ask for something. And it was during a period of time where I don't know, I was talking about ET type stuff or something. I don't know. And I'm like, Evelyn, why don't you just go to bed tonight and ask for an experience in a dream? And she goes, oh, okay. So she does. And she has a dream about ET. And I think she had two, but not the same night. It was 2 separate times, I think. And they both scared her, but the second one scared her more that she didn't want to do it again. But when she told me what it was, to me, I go, well, that's not anything to be scared of. It just scared her, though. And she's like, I don't want this. I don't want this. Like, the second time, she's like going to the bathroom at night. She woke up out of the dream. She's scared. I was still sleeping. And she went to the bathroom, and she's like, I don't want this. I didn't ask for this. This is not me. This is my husband's thing. Do it to him. I don't want this. Don't do it to me. Don't do it to me. And then she hasn't had a dream since. So again, they respected whatever that was. Respected her wishes. She hasn't had one since. And I'm like, Evelyn, dude, what? Because I remember she told me the first one. I'm like, ask for another one. You got the dream the first night you asked. I'm like, great. And then she asked for another one again, maybe a week later, whatever it was, a few days later. And that one scared her. I don't remember both of them. I just remember one of them. I'd have to ask her. She probably could remember. And she said one of them was like, I thought she said she saw a bunch of UFOs fly over fast. And then all of a sudden next thing she knows, she sees ETs walking towards her, but not to her, just towards her and passing her, walking by her. And she recognizes these are not human, these are ETs. And she goes, there was a dark skinned one, almost like a black one. A black person is like a black ET. It's like it was a darker one. It was darker than the other ones. It's like a black person ET. And she goes, it was walking with the rest of them, just walking by. She goes, except it shoulder bumped into me. And she said, I don't know where she said it, talked to her or telepathically or whatever. Again, I'd have to ask her. She's not here right now. But she said something like it told her, they're unhappy or upset with humans on how we're treating the planet. Something like that. And that was it. That was the message. What I don't remember, was that the one that scared her to go, oh, I don't want this anymore? Or was that the first one and she had a second one that scared her more? I almost think that was the one that scared her for some reason, when the thing bumped into her. And, I don't know. If she was here right now, I'd let's just do it. F it, we'll do it live. Do it live! Speaker, activate. Noise, volume, activate.
Hello?
Alright, I'm in the middle of recording a video right now.
Huh?
What?
What are you saying?
I'm in the middle of recording a video right now to go to the YouTube, to put on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
So you're going to be in the video with the voice.
Okay.
Tell
Hold on.
me.
Just so you know, I'm in line.
All right, real quick. You had 2 dreams about ETs, and one of them scared you, and you're like, I don't want to do this anymore. Was that the dream where the thing bumped into you and told you it wasn't happy with how we were treating the planet?
Yeah, I think so.
That's the one that scared you?
Yeah, it was.
Do you remember the other one, though? Because I don't remember the other one. Like,
I remember running away. I don't remember the other one that well because it's been a while and we haven't talked
like
about that
you
one.
mentioned one, they were flying overhead, but then I thought that was the same one.
Overhead, I was like running away, and then I remember for some reason like going through a pool or something. It's so hard to remember.
Okay. All right, that's all.
All right.
All right, talk to you later. Bye. Yeah, so I guess I remembered enough of what, that was. So, of course, I just got an email from JC. Okay, weird. So I just mentioned this morning about what I told you guys. So I told them, hey, JC and Cliff and Bix, hey, I had this dream 3 days ago, whatever. And then I just told them this morning, by the way, had another dream last night, the one I told you about, the lady, she's talking too fast, I can't tell what she's saying about ET thing. So he says, JC, okay, weird, a friend of mine just landed. Hold on, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to mention that. It's like a friend, it's a personal thing. And he's not exactly saying, tell everybody this. Just a friend of his may have had an ET experience, it sounds like really recently. So I'll just leave it at that. So again, maybe something's about to happen here, guys. I just got 2 dreams with the same topic, and I was asking for something honestly last night I'm like, hey, I kind of need to know this about this certain situation. I'm like, can you give me a dream about that? And I'm like, yeah, I don't think I had anything to tell me anything about that. But then all of a sudden, there's this old lady who's not old, she's young. She looked old, but she wasn't. And her face looked, honestly, just weird. It was a human, but the face was weird looking. So the question is, of course, was it actually human? She had an ET contact experience, and I couldn't understand what she was saying. She the ET, but if you're an ET, how do you have an ET contact experience? Well, let me tell you, I was on this planet called Earth, and these humans came up to me. That's my ET experience. You guys are ETs to us. Hell if I know. So, again, just interesting that things right now are happening. And Cliff has this old data from 2003 that literally said 20 years from now, in 20 years, ET, it's weird. It's a weird day when ET shows up and wants to go to breakfast with you or whatever. Okay. You know what, ET, if you're listening right now, I'll be one of the first. I had a couple of strange experiences. One in Utah, I think it was last July, and then again in New Mexico recently in February. And Penny Kelly did a video. She goes, I didn't know if I want to do this, but something tells me I should just go ahead and say it, so I'm just going to say it. And she goes, I was told when she was in the hospital doing her surgery, whoever that is, told her that she and others she knows will be getting a upgrade. So I see that video and I go, oh my God, I just had an experience in New Mexico. It was on a Thursday night. And we were leaving to come home Friday. And I got this, after I experienced that experience in July, I think it was July or August of last year in Utah, because I was asking for it, and I got a little experience in the Airbnb house I was in. Didn't see anything, but I heard something, and I know why they made the sound that they made, because it meant something to me, and they knew it. And I could feel the presence, and it was very, very uncomfortable, this presence. But I guess you could get used to it. So I had kind of a communication thing going on back and forth where I would say, hey, you're getting a little too close, back off, and it would do it. And can this wait until the morning? It's nighttime, I want to go to bed, and I don't want to be like freaked out. It respected me, waited till the morning. Like all this stuff happened in Utah. Didn't see anything. But I go, holy shit, I had an experience. And I remember looking into the mirror when I realized, okay, I'm having an experience. And as I was going to look up, I was brushing my teeth, I was going to look up, and I'm like getting this feeling, don't look, and like, don't look. Like, you're going to see something, don't look. And I just like, well, I have to look, you know. So I slowly look up in the mirror and I'm looking at myself. And I'm looking at myself like, wait a minute. Something else, somebody else is inside of my private space, soul space, if you will, looking at me through the mirror, through my own eyes and body and soul. They're just checking me out through myself. It was the strange, uncomfortable as hell feeling. So I'm like, I gotta go take a pee. I turn around, go pee, and I'm like, okay, go back to that mirror and do it all over again. Because at that point, I'm like, okay, like, please stop. Back off, please stop. I'm just like saying this in my mind. Like, that's too much. Stop, back off, you know. And it did. So I'm like, okay, well, I think it did. Let me look up and double check. So I look up. Okay, it's just me looking at me. That's the way I feel. You know, like, okay. And then I went to go lay down on the bed, and I could feel this big presence in the room. I'm like, I know I asked for this, but I didn't expect it to be in this manner. I was just like hoping to see like a, UFO, light in the sky close by or something. But thank you for doing this because I wanted it. I know I asked, but this is kind of scary. I'll be honest, for us humans, it's just kind of scary. I'm like telling it this. And it's like respect everything I asked it would do, like, okay, back off, do this, don't do it, wait till the morning. And then it came back in the morning, like I could feel its presence again. I'm like, okay. I'm like, I know it's kind of the morning, but it's still dark out. Like it's 5:30 a.m. It's not, another hour, it'll probably be light out. And that's what I'm kind of wanting. I feel a lot more comfortable. I can see better, it's just being in dark and can't see anything. It's just kind of scary to us humans when we can sense a presence and I know you're here and, can you just wait a little bit longer? And then I hear this breathing outside the door, bedroom door. And I'm like, is that the sprinkler? And I'm going, no, it's not. It's somebody breathing. Like, it's somebody breathing. Very calm and gentle. And they did that was because of an experience I had in New Mexico back in 2019 that I still haven't quite shared publicly. My wife was present. And they felt like, well, that happened to him. Let's do that again, so to speak, because he already experienced that, knows what that is, and he'll maybe feel more comfortable. That was my take on it. And I go, oh, yes. It's still kind of scary. But I'm going, oh, okay. So that was Utah. February this year, I'm in New Mexico for a few days. I'm eating at this restaurant I've been to plenty of times. And I get that feeling of, oh shit, they're here. That weird, uncomfortable feeling. I go, I know what that is. So I'm like at the table, like I'm going in my mind, now's not a good time. Can you please wait till later? I'll be home later tonight, and I'll go to bed and I'll be at the house and that'd be better. And it stopped immediately, gone. Okay. Again, respected my wishes. Thank you so much. Okay, let's go home, get to the house, and fall asleep, or not fall asleep, go to bed, lay down, turn the lights off, and I'm like, as soon as I turn that light off and lay down, I'm like, okay, I'm home, back at the house, I'm ready. Instantly feel it right to my left, like it's right. I mean, where my hands are right now, I can touch this thing. I know it's right there. I can feel it. Eyes are closed, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to look. I can't help it. I have to freaking look. So I'm like, I look. Ain't nothing there. Now, of course, it's dark. There's a little bit of light coming through the window, enough that you could, if somebody was there, you'd see a dark silhouette or something, So I close my eyes again. I put my head back down. I'm like sitting there, and I'm like, like you try to catch it a second time, catch you off guard, nothing there. I'm like, okay, I know you're here. I'm like, all right, I'm ready. Whatever, you needed to tell me or do, I'm ready. I'm here. Now my eyes are just closed. I'm just kind of concentrating like on nothing, my third eye area with my eyes closed kind of a thing. And all of a sudden I feel as if you took your finger and did this to me right on my third eye. Very, very, barely able to just feel it. Like, yeah, you kind of feel someone doing this. Like, you know someone's doing it because you can feel it. But there's this additional energetic thing that's happening with the physical touch. But the physical touch was minor. The energetic feeling was stronger of whatever. And it just like went up and down, just like I'm doing right now. Maybe twice or 3 times possibly. I don't know. Very, very gentle and calm. And then it stopped. And then I'm like, and then it's just gone. I feel the presence is gone. Like, I'm going, that's what they had to do, whatever that was. And I'm like, what was that about? And then I just get this, you got an upgrade. That's all I got. You got an upgrade. And I'm thinking maybe it's a psychic upgrade. I got, I'll get new information and this and that. And next time I go out to New Mexico, I'll have some kind of crazy vision. I don't know. But that's what I heard up here when I said, what was that about? Like, what was this? What was that about? You got an upgrade. And that was it. So I didn't really share that with anybody yet. Then I see Penny Kelly's video where she goes, I wasn't really going to post this because this is kind of a, I don't know what people are going to think about this, but I felt like I'm supposed to do this. Someone needs to hear this, or, people need to hear this. And she says when she was in the hospital doing her surgery, she had a vision or whatever, however that happened. And they basically told her she and others are going to get an upgrade. Like, whatever that means. And neither her or I really know for sure what exactly does that mean. I think, honestly, it's just like, it's like a little psychic uptick of abilities or something. I don't know. And so I'm hearing her say that, her and others, that's like friends or people close to her, I'm going, well, that's me. I got one. I know her. So I message her, hey, I'm with my daughter. We got to go take this flight, da-da-da. Call me like after 2 p.m., whatever time. And I got to tell you, like, I'm one of them. Like, it happened to me. I got to tell you the story. So she called and we talked, and I'm like, I can't believe, I said, if you didn't say anything in that video, I don't know that I would have said anything publicly to anybody, and I'm glad you said it, because now I realize I'm one of the people. She goes, and I know another guy that was one too, like a friend of mine. She goes, I know he was definitely one. And it happened after that, like right around the same time. And I'm like, well, this happened to me in just last month in February, and then and she's like, yeah, this is crazy. So I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't know what the hell all this means. But it's fascinating as hell. And it's scary. Like, it's scary at times and I didn't see anything. I'm thinking I was kind of freaked out and there's nothing even to see. Imagine if they like manifested into some being, even if it was digitally and fake with highly advanced technology, where they put some ET that they felt like, let's put an image of ourselves so this guy, he can't really hurt us if he freaks out because it's just a fake, 3D model of us, standing there next. It would still, now I can feel it, I can sense it, and I see it, oh my God, and I'm going, I need to build up to this. And it's kind of like what Woo Woo Dude said when he taught me about mirror scrying. You're looking in a mirror with the candles, and you can see your face melt into like your past lives or certain things if you ask. He goes, I'm telling you, it'll freak you out at first. And I'm going, I'm into the woo right now, like big time. Like, I got this. Like, I'm not, it's not going to freak me out. He goes, okay, go ahead. So I go in there. This was like 3 years ago now. All right, go in my closet. It's nice and dark in there. Candles, say the thing he told me to say. Put the protection up. All right, don't touch the effing mirror. All right, got it. I start looking. Look right around here. Your eyes will go out of phase a little bit, just right here, and then all of a sudden your face starts turning into something else. But if you focus on it, it goes back to you. So you got to leave your eyes in that kind of out of focus, out of phase thing to keep seeing it. But it's kind of like staring at something at the corner of your eye. You know what I mean? Like, you can see it, but I can't really focus on it. But it's enough that I can see plenty of detail, right? And sure enough, my face melds into something else, and it freaks me the F out. And I stop. I come out of the bathroom for a second. I turn on the light in the bathroom. I'm like, oh, shit. Okay. I go, he was right. Damn it. That freaked me out. I'm like, you got this. Get your ass back in there. Go back in there. So I go back in there, turn the light off. I think the candle was still going, and I'm like, all right, or 2 candles, whatever the hell I had. do it again. Do it like you can do this. All right, I do it again, and I see it melding into something else. And then, but now I'm like, okay, I got it. Like I'm good, and I can do it. So I've done it a bunch of times, and saw some interesting things. And most recently, I got a hold of this 1800s iron, like a kind you put. I got an iron in the fire to do the clothes, and the lady, he told me, he goes, do it. I'm telling you, do it tonight. Hold that thing in your hand. Do the mirror scrying. I'm telling you, she'll come through. The lady that owned that way back then, she's going to come through. And I go, oh, okay. So I do the mirror scrying, and it'd been a while. And this is kind of recently. And I'm holding on, touching the, this iron at my desk, sitting there. And I'm like, I don't even ask it to see, like, I don't even know if I said, please show me yourself or anything. I think I was just holding it and just staring. And all of a sudden, I see this lady come through. Like, my face turns into this woman, dark eyes, dark hair, and it was like tightly pulled down, and I'm just staring at her, of course, and she's staring at me because my face is her essentially, and so if I move, she moves, and I'm like, wow, that's cool. And I thought, what her name was, and I just remember thinking to myself, and I forget now, like Beth or Elizabeth or I forget, it was like it came through at the time, and I go, was that just my monkey mind putting a name on her, or was that really her name? And I don't know, but I'm like, shit, he was right. Woo dude was right, man. I saw her. So I went to bed that night and I'm like, okay, cool. Then I have a dream about something he told me I'd have a dream about, kind of related. And I'll go, that was pretty effing cool. And then I wake up and I go, well, let me Google like 1800s hairstyles for women, or, like what would they do? So I'm like, I just don't think that's how they would look. And I see a few come up. Oh, there it is right there. I mean, the hairstyle. There it is. It's kind of like going back into the 80s and the girls with their big poof. We call it a little poof ball up in the front. The girls would do a little poof ball. You can look at all these old 80s pictures of girls. Yeah, they got the freaking frizzy hair, poofy thing. And, again, similar hairstyles. It was the thing. So I'm guessing this is one of the things back in the 1800s, a common style. Sure as shit, there it is. And I go, son of a bitch. She came through in the mirror. And I'm like, damn. That's pretty effing cool. He goes, you get better at that as time go on and you progress and stuff. And you get more psychic. He goes, you can see a whole lot more in the mirror than just faces and people. You can see all kinds of stuff, but it doesn't you're not going to hit that level yet. Like, I go, yeah, well, that's cool. That's really cool. Thinking, well, I'll look in the effing mirror. Show me a place in New Mexico I need to go explore next. Oh, here it is. Stare at the mirror. Oh, there it is. I saw it. Okay, cool. I had when me and it was me and my buddy Bill and Dave. JC didn't go this time in February, and Julianne gave me a reading, and she's telling me you need to practice things with your hands and start getting used to like holding things of other people or old things and try to see if you can pick up on the energy, tell a story about it. What's it telling you? She goes, because this is going to help you when you're out in New Mexico. You'll be around things and go, oh, there's something going on here. I can sense it in my hands. Oh, this rock. We need to get under this rock or whatever. Things like that. And she goes, and you may even find you actually see the history of the, like, oh, I flashed back into the past and saw like this spot right here that they, I saw them working here or whatever. Now it's just covered up. Like you'll something like that. And I go, oh, okay. And she was doing a channeling. So it's like, it lasts a little while, and then you got to go back and re-listen to it 3 or 4 times, or 5, to capture everything she told you during the channeling. But I didn't listen to it. I only listened to it live while she was doing it, and a couple things stood out to me, and I totally forgot about that part of it. And that was in January. So I'm February. Let's go. We go out there. We go to our main site, and Dave is down there in this little crack that we uncovered. And he's got a little small pick. He's just hand picking it. And I'm standing a few feet from him, maybe 3 feet. And I'm just watching him. Like me and Bill couldn't really do anything at that time. I was like, well, just, don't need any help. He's just picking with this little crack to see if he can, it's enough to put your hand in there. So we're thinking if we move enough of the crap in the crack, the dirt and stuff, maybe there'll be an opening. We can look down, and then try to figure out whatever. But so he's just kind of picking out this little small stuff. I'm just standing there watching him. And all of a sudden, I flash, I guess out of my mind, my body, I don't know, but I'm still able to stand there. Like I didn't fall over. Like, oh, I flashed out of my mind and fell over and bonked my head. No, it's like I'm still standing there. I'm still able to stand there. But I flashed into a Spaniard's body. And I'm inside of him now watching Dave work. Except I'm not watching Dave anymore. Dave is somebody else. And that somebody else is a worker. Not a slave. I remember it wasn't a slave. It was a worker. Somebody that was entrusted. You know, if it's a slave, they'll usually make them do the work and then kill him, see you later. You know, hide the treasure in a mountain, kill him, your dead body's in there, dead men tell no tales, so see you later. But if it's somebody that's in your party, you know, you're not going to do that to them. So that was what I got. This guy is not a slave. He's a worker. And furthermore, as I'm just watching, I'm the Spaniard, that's a worker, it's not Dave anymore. I am very, very happy and pleased with this man's progress. I am very happy with this man's progress. Like, I'm just thrilled with this guy. I love this guy. Like, almost like I'm ahead of schedule. He's perfectly finding or doing the work I want him to do. Like, this is, yes. And then I snap back and I go, what the hell just happened? I'm like, oh my God. You know, then Bill's like right there to my left and Dave's right in front of me to my right. I'm like, oh my God, guys, you're not going to believe this. Like, this just happened. You know, so then a little bit later, it might have been the same day. I don't know. I think it might have been. I'm standing on top of this area that we're messing with, and I was just standing up there by myself, and Dave and Bill were down there kind of working this little spot. I'm just sitting up there, and I just start whistling. And I start singing it. Hurry, boy, it's waiting there for you. It's gonna take a lot, you know. But it's just that line. And I'm whistling it again. I'm humming it, and kind of singing it in my mind, and you know, hurry, boy, it's waiting there. You know, I look around a little bit. Hurry, boy, it's waiting there for you. And I go, why am I singing that song right now? Hurry, boy, it's waiting there for you. Toto. Song, you know, the band Toto. Africa. Wait a minute, did we, you know, you hear the last song on the way up the mountain. Did we hear that song? No, I don't think we had the radio on the way up. Or even if it was, that song didn't come on. Why am I humming and whistling that and singing that song? Hurry, boy, it's waiting there for you. Hurry up and get it. You're almost there. But we ran out of time. Time to go. We'll have to make plans to go back again. So same day, I'm humming this. Time to call it. We're going down get back in the vehicle, hike the hell out of there, get back to the vehicle, go down the mountain, you know. Get to the vehicle, start it up, radio's on. Not my little playlist. The regular radio is on. Hurry, boy, it's waiting there for you. It's gonna take a lot to take me away. I look at them. Are you effing kidding me right now? That song's playing right now? That's how Spirit, all this stuff works. It's unfreaking believable. They put the song into my head because if they didn't do it at that time, and then I got down to the vehicle and turned the radio on, I would just been, oh, that's a cool song, let's listen to it. No, we gave it to you while you were standing on your favorite little spot up there where you're doing some work. Hurry, boy, it's waiting there for you. J-Snip cries out in the night. So there's just a lot of stuff that's unexplainable, unbelievable. And if it wasn't for things that actually I could tell you, hey, this happened to me. I did this. I'm not telling you someone else's story. This happened to me. This shit on my forehead, this happened to me. Were you sure you weren't on drugs? Or you have anything to drink that? No. I almost never drink alcohol. Once or twice a year, maybe. And it's a tiny, oh, maybe a little wine cooler. Maybe a little bit of wine. Oh, here you go. How about an ale, apple ale? Oh, okay. Maybe I'll try one of those. That's it. Were you on ayahuasca? No. Peyote? No. I sensed the thing at the restaurant. It was like, we need to talk to you. And I didn't say it that way. I just felt the presence. And I go, now's not a good time. Can we do this later? I'll be home later. At this house we're at. And, I'll be ready for bed. I'll be ready. Instantly goes away. Okay, feeling's gone. This is great. Okay. What is that? I'm communicating in here and things are happening and it's obeying, so to speak, my wishes. And then I have something touched. I've not been touched yet by anything like this. And I feel this. The hell's that about? You got an upgrade. What, I go from Windows 95 to Windows 98? What is it? Just don't give me Windows Millennium. That was a piece of garbage. Or Windows Vista. Oh my God, if that's an upgrade, take it back. Windows XP, that was a good one. Windows Vista, Millennium, oh my God. It's like every other year is a good one for Windows updates, right? So, bottom line is weird stuff's happening and it might be about to get a lot weirder. And I think I've yapped long enough. Take care.